Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here for Drunkard's Walk. Thanks so much for listening again this week, and a thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Carmio for our artwork. Also a thank you to Emma Nolen, our guest this week. And hey, we did not win the Pittsburgh Magazine Best of the Berg 2023 Best Podcast, but it is an opportunity now for you to nominate us for the City Paper's Best of Pittsburgh. So if you want to do that, head on over to our link tree. You can find the link there to do that nomination. We'd appreciate it if you want to do that. And then if we actually get nominated, then you can vote for us at whenever that happens. I don't know when that occurs. But hey, we just love that you listen. If you want to get in touch with us, that link tree also has a bunch of our contact info as well. You can give us suggestions, topics, whatever it is you'd like to do, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, that's it, everybody. Enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. It's me. It's Matt Hartman, one of the hosts of Drunkard's Walk. And I love this whole endeavor that we have here for almost 8 full seasons. We've been wandering from one Wikipedia page to another, only using the links involved in the pages. And I keep saying we, and I don't want you to think that I'm using the royal we. I don't want you to think that I think of myself as better than anybody. I certainly don't. When I say we, I'm talking about myself and, of course, my co-host, Jethro Nolen.
Hey, I'm a co-host, everybody. And I will say that I do think of myself as better than many people.
Yes. No, I know that you do.
Come to us as surprise as no one.
Yeah, I didn't want to introduce you before saying that because I knew that you felt that way. And I didn't want to, I don't know. I mean, I also feel like I'm no better than you. So maybe you are better than others. I don't want to judge one way or the other. That's not my place. That's not who I'm supposed to be. At least not right now. Let me have a couple of sips and then I'll start judging you. Okay.
I feel pretty comfortable saying that I'm better than Ted Bundy.
Okay.
I mean, not at murdering people, but as a human being on the holistic scale, yeah, I feel like, and again, that's a pretty low bar, but
it is a low bar. You're also assuming some sort of particular code of moral and ethics that somehow make one better or worse than another.
The code that you shouldn't murder people.
Look, I'm not saying I'm in favor of it either, but I don't know who am I to judge? It's not my place, Jethro. It's not my place.
And that's really the lesson of the podcast is Matt Hartman wants you to keep your door open to considering murder.
No. See, now you're turning my words, you're twisting my words, which makes you not as good as some. So I think you've just displayed to the audience that you are not as good as you once thought you perhaps could be.
Have I dropped below Ted Bundy now?
I don't know if you're quite that far down, but you're inching, my friend.
I mean, to be fair, if Ted Bundy had survived and made it to the era of podcasting, he probably would have been a pretty rude podcast co-host. So that's probably true.
And you know what? I'm gonna just say that is true. I'm not even gonna say I'm not gonna put probably next to it. I'm gonna say that you're right, and that's Excellent. Not something I say often. So I'm gonna say you're right, Jethro.
I appreciate your begrudging acknowledgement of my rightness.
No problem. In this particular case. Well, Jethro, as I was mentioning before, I love this whole wandering through Wikipedia thing, and it has been almost 8 full seasons. We are quickly approaching the end of season 8 here, and you know what? I still it amazes me that there's still more Wikipedia pages out there that we haven't seen.
I know. I would have figured we'd wrapped it up by now.
Yeah. And recently I was listening to a few weeks ago, we had our wives on, and they said that we had literally been to thousands of pages. I don't think that that's true. I was going to actually count them up and figure it all out. But since we average around 5 to 5.5 links per, and we've done about what's 15 times 8, it must be around 100. My estimation is that it can't be in the thousands, right?
No.
Right? It wouldn't be in the thousands of pages.
Yeah, it would not.
Yeah, and I know the 15 times 8 is not 100. Just to be clear, you didn't correct me. I was hoping that you were going to.
I was waiting to tell you that it's 120, but okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, Jethro, I'm not sure that that's right.
I could be wrong.
120. I mean, could it be 80 plus what 80 plus 40? Oh, that is 120. Oh, I guess you're right. Okay. Well, yeah. I don't know. Perhaps I've done something wrong in my head.
Wow. Twice in the same episode, I have been confirmed to be right.
So that's 100. That's 120 episodes, and 120 times 5 is gonna be 600. So that's 600, and if it's 5.5, then it's a little bit more than 600. So I guess I thought 1,000 was way off. It's actually not that far off. But one thing I do want to say, Jethro, I got to bring this up.
Yes.
During the episode when the wives did their walk, which I hadn't had a chance to listen to until it was actually published, because I don't listen to these things before before we release them.
I think that's evident. Yeah.
They used a lot of Control F in their walk, like a lot of Control F, and I don't know how you feel about that. Like, does that tarnish their victory at all to you?
If you know anything about marriage, Matt, I think you know that the wives generally control the F pretty much uniformly. So
you feel like that they are in their right to use it, since that is what they do.
I feel like we're lucky that they have deigned to come on season after season to our little podcast.
I guess that's true.
Not upset domestic harmony in favor of enforcing arbitrary podcast rules.
Yeah. I was just trying to get you in trouble. Honestly, it didn't work out. So well.
Don't need any help on that front. I'm pretty good.
There we go. Well, Jethro, as much as I love just kind of shooting the shit with you, man, I think we have to go on a walk here. So we're starting at Princess Peach, and we're headed to. Whoa, where are we headed, Jethro?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Well, perhaps we should ask the guest who is on the Zoom call with us, none other than my niece, Emma Nolen. Emma, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you're coming to us from the Mountain Time Zone.
It's true.
Indeed.
Ooh,
so let's just start off the way we normally do. How do we know each other?
I am related to you, and unfortunately, it's a big source of shame in my life.
Well, it is. I mean, but you could take pride in the fact that you're related to somebody who's slightly better than Ted Bundy. So that's
self-proclaimed better than Ted Bundy.
Yeah, the jury's still out. Not for Ted Bundy, because he was executed by the state.
No, the jury came back on that one pretty quickly, I think.
Indeed. So yes, my apologies that you we share genes in common. Although so let's see, my brother. So you're my brother's child. So my brother and I share half of our genes, and half of his genes went into you. So we have 25% gene.
What? Where are you getting these numbers from? How do you and your brother share half of your genes? How did you come up with that?
That's not necessarily true. Clearly, you don't know anything about alleles or reproductive biology. The way that it works is,
I do have a child, so I know something about.
Hey, Control F, Control F, buddy.
You don't know what goes on in the chromosomes, man. So you have, when a zygote is formed. Half of the DNA comes from the sperm, and half of it comes from the egg.
Yeah.
So when these are, you are getting 23 alleles from one parent and 23 alleles from the other parent, and then they combine, and you get 46 chromosomes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be getting many different pieces in those 23 and 23 that come together.
Yeah.
For multiple variations of children. Otherwise, if you two were exactly the same, if you were twins, then we would share 25% of our DNA, perhaps. But you and my father are not twins.
What percentage do we share then, in your estimation?
You would need a genome sequencing to be able to determine that.
This is great.
But I'm not a biologist.
And
Don't
so
trust me, I'm not a biologist.
Check out our sponsor at 23andMe this month. You can go there and get your genome sequenced anytime you like. No, we don't actually have a sponsor. But this is fascinating stuff. Is this related at all to some sort of work that you do, Emma? Are you doing any sort of work with alleles or chromosomes or anything like that in what you do?
I am not a biologist, and I thank God for that every day.
Oh, okay.
Good deal.
I think biology is far more complex than chemistry, and hence why I chose chemistry. I am currently pursuing my PhD in chemistry.
Excellent.
I moved to Colorado for just as a purpose, and the weather is far better than Texas, I can tell you.
Yeah, that's a pretty low bar. That's like me claiming I'm better than Ted Bundy. That's Texas is the Ted Bundy of weather. That is
wow. Okay, it's quite a comparison you're making there.
Indeed. And now you've been in Colorado for 6 months-ish now?
Yes, I moved here January 4th, so 6 months and 4 days.
Very good. And how are you finding it in grad school and all that fun jazz?
Well, I certainly wouldn't describe grad school as being fun jazz, but Colorado's great. The people I've met in Colorado, pretty great. I haven't had bad experiences.
That's cool. And that and
grad school.
Yeah, well, it ain't easy. Now you're in Golden, right? And that's where the Coors Brewery is.
The school I attend is in Golden. I happen to live on the opposite side of Denver, which means my friends who go to this school and who go to the school and live near Golden never come to visit me, which is very sad.
Yeah, that's rough. It's tricky being that far away. I drove back when I was just out of college and living in Chicago. I did like a 3 or 4 month promotional tour of Zima.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
In bars across the Southwest. And when we were done with I did like Austin, Dallas, and then Phoenix. And then we were done in Phoenix, we had to drive the Zima Mobile to the Coors Brewery in Golden, Colorado. And it was a beautiful drive from Phoenix to Golden. It's quite lovely.
Oh.
But yeah.
It's true. The Coors Brewery is in Golden, Colorado. And in fact, they have sponsored a building at our school, which is called Coors Tech, the Coors Tech Science Building.
Wow.
I do not go in that building, although it is the newest one and nicest one on campus.
Very nice.
Yeah, I bet. Big
beer
money.
Oh yeah, huge. So now that we've checked the box of how do we know each other and what are you doing, we've got some important questions as far as where are we going, Emma? What cunning destination have you crafted for us this evening?
The destination I would like you to achieve is phenolphthalein.
Okay.
Can either of you propose a spelling for this word?
So
Jethro can.
I would say it's probably PHENAL PTHALENE.
I'm gonna have to go with a no on that, Matt.
QTLMTTTSRUTMT. Am I close?
Well, I thank you for that. I'm sure you've just guessed someone's password.
Yes.
Generated by Google Chrome. But phenolphthalein is an acid-base indicator, and I will spell it for you.
Perfect.
It is PHENOL PHTHALEIN. Phenolphthalein. Fun fact, this is my phone hotspot password. So if you can't spell it, you can't join it.
Well, I'll bring my own Wi-Fi when I come visit. Yeah.
You know that you just said that on a podcast that literally 34 people listen to. So you better watch out.
Now, so phenolphthalein, obviously you are a chemist. Matt and I are not chemists.
I'm not. Famously not.
Yeah, famously not a chemist. In fact, if Wikipedia had a page of famous non-chemists,
I'd be at the top of it. There. That's right.
So what? To put it bluntly, why do we care about phenolphthalein? What would a lowly non-chemist such as myself know about it, or how would it interact with my life in any way, shape, or form?
If you have taken chemistry in high school or general chemistry 1 in college, you have very likely come across this. It is an acid-base indicator.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'll tell you in a moment. First, I will describe why we love it.
Okay.
It's an acid-base indicator that is a clear to pink indicator, or pink to clear, depending on which direction you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So an acid-base indicator is used to determine how much of an acid or a base in your unknown there is, and then you can find the concentration of this acid or base through a chemical technique called titration. So you have a long glass tube, and you drip a little bit at a time of a known concentration of acid or base into your unknown concentration of base or acid. You have the indicator in there, and once the color switches, you know that you have an equal amount of acid or base, and whichever one you started with, you have the known quantity and the known concentration, and you're able to figure out the unknown's concentration.
So phenolphthalein changes at a pH of 7?
No, it's not at 7. The phenolphthalein changes in the area of 8 to 10. That's when it's pink. Greater than 8, it's clear. And below 8 in general, it is going to be clear again. So when you're doing an acid-base titration, the way you pick your indicator is by picking something that indicates within a certain range, that will change color within a certain range. So, and I just found out from the phenolphthalein Wikipedia page that it does in fact have another color that I did not know about.
Ooh, do tell.
So when you get to pH -1, which is fairly uncommon, in specifically sulfuric acid, it does turn a bright orange color.
So bright orange, watch out.
I didn't even know you could get to. I
didn't know that either.
I clearly thought pH was like from 0 to 14.
Yeah,
it is. However, there are certain circumstances when when you can have a negative pH, so below 1, and you can have a pH above 14 in certain circumstances.
Okay.
Those are circumstances I would not want to be in, I think, if I remember my acids and bases correctly.
So phenolphthalein, what type of substance is it?
It's liquid.
It's
an acid-base indicator. Have you not been paying attention at all? No, even I picked this up, and I'm an idiot.
Thank you for clarifying the phase of matter that it is.
No problem,
Matt. But is it like an aldehyde? Is it a phenolphthalein? Doesn't the E&E denote something in chemical names, or?
It is not E&E.
It is not. Oh, that's right.
It is ALEIN.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so there are the one part of this that is related to other chemicals is the phenol at the beginning, PHENOL.
Okay.
That means that it has a benzene ring with one hydroxide group or an OH group on it, also known as an alcohol. So it has one benzene ring with an alcohol attached to it. That's a phenol. Phenolphthalein actually has 2 of these groups, and some other stuff going on in the chemical. But if you want the real name of phenolphthalein, you can just Google 3,3-bis 4-hydroxylphenol 2-benzofuran 1,3-H-one.
We'll get right on that.
I know. Come on. This is now you're just talking obvious stuff. I mean,
now you're don't talk down to the audience.
That's the type of thing that our audience looks up all the time, and they clearly
so other than its function as an acid-base indicator, does phenolphthalein have any regular? Is it an ingredient in something that's commonly consumed or used? Is it used for processing nickel or something like other than determining whether something is acidic or basic? Does phenolphthalein have like commercial or industrial uses to your knowledge?
It does, in fact. Phenolphthalein is used in the carbonation of concrete. It's also used in that kind of spackle you can buy that is pink when it's wet and white when it's dry. That's the phenolphthalein indicator.
Yeah. I use that all the time. I love it.
I'm so glad. I also found out through the Wikipedia page.
Thank you for humoring me.
You're welcome.
What else have you learned through the Wikipedia page?
Through the Wikipedia page, I discovered that the Hollywood hair Barbie that has secret shapes on its hair once you spray it with a certain spray, it has phenolphthalein in the strands of the hair, which allow the hair to change color when they're sprayed with a slightly basic solution.
Wow.
Which is the special spray that you get when you have the Hollywood hair Barbie. I do remember commercials of this from my childhood, and it was quite magical.
Yeah.
That's
also
awesome.
Used in some invisible inks.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is good. Okay. This is good info here.
Good stuff.
It's very interesting because when you're using something like phenolphthalein on Barbie hair, for example, when you spray it with a basic solution, it appears pink, but after a while it will fade and turn clear again. The reason for this is when you have a liquid out in the atmosphere, also anywhere in the atmosphere, like your house, perhaps, carbon dioxide from the air dissolves into the liquid and makes carbonic acid. So it makes things that are exposed to air slightly acidic. So as the base is sprayed onto the hair, as it is exposed to the carbon dioxide in the air, it will become slightly more acidic and turn back to clear.
There you go.
Wow. Let's hear it from Mattel. Doing quite a bit of chemistry over there. Well done.
I can't wait to see how Greta Gerwig weaves this into her Barbie movie. Cool beans. Well, that is fantastic. Thank you for bringing a higher degree of erudition than we customarily receive, Emma. It's greatly appreciated.
I agree.
I don't know how the hell we're going to get there, but I suppose that is our problem to figure out. That is awesome. Matt, do you have any further or final questions for Emma as we squeeze all of her knowledge about phenolphthalein before we jaunt off?
I wish that I did. My head is just spinning with all the information that I've just gained now. So I'll probably come up with some questions in about an hour or two, but it's going to be too late. So no, this is awesome. This is such a cool thing that I had never heard of, and it certainly would not have had any idea how to spell, as I proved. And just thank you very much for it. I can't wait to try to figure out how we're going to get there from Princess Peach, the video game character.
They're both pink. They can't be that far away.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's probably true. And they both start with the letter P. Huh? So there we go. That means something.
There you go.
No, that's not going to help. That's not helpful.
I wish you the best of luck, and you'll have to have me on again because I have an even trickier one up my sleeve.
Oh, good. Depending on how well we do at this, will determine whether or not we
exactly. Yes.
But we did it. Speaking of chemicals and liquids and such, we forgot to ask: are you? I know I've known you since you were born, and for much of that time you were a child. But
I'm so sorry.
You're of legal drinking age. Are you having a beverage while we chat?
Yes, today I am.
What are you having there?
I have a Black Girl Magic Rosé.
Wonderful. Black Girl Magic Rosé.
What is the pH of that particular rosé?
I left my pH meter at the lab today.
Oh, drat. Some litmus paper just sitting around? Just throw in there?
Unfortunately, no. My mother would, but I wouldn't.
Okay.
All right, then.
That's all right. Forgivable. Absolutely.
All right, then. Matt, what about you? You having a beverage?
I am, Jethro. I am. I mentioned, I think maybe last week or something, that I was starting to run low. So I went out to the liquor store and I picked up a little bottle. I got a little 350 of Basil Hayden, which is a bourbon that I have heard much about, and I may have tried once in my life, but totally forgotten. So I wanted to give it a try, and little 80 proof guy, not one of my high proofs, but a very tasty bourbon, I have to say. Have you had the Basil Hayden?
I've had Basil Hayden. It's quite good. Very enjoyable.
Yeah, it is.
I'm at the lower end of the bougie scale for beverages.
Yeah.
I had a
what are you doing?
We had a Memorial Day party at our place, and
is this because I think you had one of these last week. Is this the same thing?
What was it last week? I don't remember.
Michelob Ultra, as I recall.
No.
Okay.
I've not for lack of trying. It's just I finished all of them. So I've gone further down the leftover alcohol thing, and I'm having a Kirkland Signature hard seltzer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something else. So who do you think actually makes that? Because I've heard that Kirkland brand is all just they put the Kirkland label on something that's a mass-produced like actual brand. Do you have any idea who makes the?
That's all. Oh, Emma has an idea. Emma, what do you?
Who's this?
I was actually just speaking yesterday with a gentleman named Dr. Ellis at my new internship, and Dr. Ellis and I were talking about the exact same concept with chemical cleaning products. So I am actually very familiar with the system that they use to make use the same product and market it to different brands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, and I'm happy to explain it to you. But perhaps you better get going to your destination. It may take you a while.
Indeed,
it's fair. It's fair. We probably should, because it probably is going to take us a little while, Jethro, to get to this one. Would be
indeed.
my guess.
Well, Emma, you have our thanks, and depending on the length of the episode, also perhaps our curses, which may land later. But thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm glad to hear things are going well for you in Colorado, and I wish you continued success out there.
Indeed.
I have survived so far. Hopefully, I will continue.
There we go.
We wish you that as well.
That's all any of us can ask. Excellent. Cheers. Take care.
Take care, Emma. Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, then. So, phenolphthalein, eh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's where we're headed.
That is indeed it, Jethro.
All right.
We're going to have to figure this one out. So let's see here. The first thing we need to do is to make some predictions, right?
That is right. We must predict.
Yes.
So how many clicks will it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, from Princess Peach. So, I'm going to write down a number. I think I'm going to do a number again.
Wow, that's 118 episodes in a row.
I know. It's just what I typically do.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a number written down?
I do indeed have a number written.
Okay, so we are off from Princess Peach Land to Phenolphthalein Land.
We are indeed, and I think that there's probably something to this whole pink color thing. If there was for some reason a connection between pink colored characters and pink colored chemistry. Unfortunately, the way Wikipedia is set up, I fear that it will not be on the page the way that we might hope that it would be.
Yeah, like the chemistry of the color pink.
Yeah, exactly. So instead, we're going to probably have to go through. I like this Barbie idea. I like this Barbie route that we might be able to go through. What do you think about that?
It sounds exciting, but it feels like a very small bullseye, because I don't know that the Barbie page is going to feature this one particular Barbie with this niche feature.
Ooh, very niche.
That it has. Whereas if we get to something like chemistry, I feel like, all right, Bob's your uncle. We're in.
Oh, so you want to get into like acids and bases and pH and things like that. You think that's a better route?
I think that's a much bigger bullseye for us, because if we end up going with the Barbie route and then they don't list that particular Barbie or that particular function, or even if they do,
yeah,
they're probably not going to go into the chemical details of here's how Barbie pulled it off.
I mean, they might the page the phenyl. I'm going to say this wrong. Phenolphthalein page mentions it. So they may, but you're right. I mean, I agree. There's a chance that we would get to that particular Barbie and it wouldn't be talked about, and then where would we go? We'd have to start all over again, essentially, right?
Indeed, this is true.
So I'm not against the idea of trying to go through chemistry. What I am having trouble with, though, is figuring out a way to get to chemistry out of the Princess Toadstool, Princess Peach page. Because there's a lot of links here to characters from the Super Mario Brothers. There's links to different video game systems. I do see links to like the movies, and so like Anya Taylor-Joy is linked on here, as is Brie Larson. So if we were going through Barbie, if we try to get to that Barbie movie that you mentioned and things like that, but I don't see anything on here about like science.
So. I don't see anything directly science related, but I do see something that gets us out of the video game / entertainment world.
Okay.
Under legacy at the bottom, apparently Princess Peach is considered an LGBT icon by several journalists, and LGBT is linked. And that gets us into out of video games for sure, and possibly into the world of identity and psychology and perhaps other sciences as a possibility. And I'm sure that there are famous gay scientists that may be listed on that page.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jethro. I think that you're grasping at straws a little bit here, but as this is the final episode that we will be releasing during Pride Month, I'm happy to go through LGBT and see if there is perhaps a connection. I doubt it is super quick, but it might be faster than, say, going through Chain Chomp or...
Yeah. That's the problem, is because all the other links that I'm seeing are like, Chain Chomp or other stuff like that seems super video gamey.
So I did just say that I didn't mind going through this, and I do think that we probably should, but I will point out that there is a link to Guinness World Records and the Guinness Book of World Records.
The Gamers Edition.
Well, it says that here, but if you mouse over it, it just goes to Guinness World Records. So just saying that might be another path. I kind of want to still go through LGBT, but it might be faster to go through Guinness World Records. But why? I don't know why. I mean, just because there's going to be science records and things like that. And I understand not every record is going to be listed on the Wikipedia page, Matt. What are you, an idiot? I'm not an idiot. Well, I am an idiot, but not because of this. So anyway, you want to go through LGBT? Let's just stop talking about it, just do it. Let's just do it, man.
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's do it. I have to find it again because I paged away. There we go.
It is under legacy at the bottom.
I got it.
Section.
All
LGBT is an initialism that stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's the rainbow flag.
Oftentimes I hear LGBT with a Q on the end because I've almost been saying LGBTQ every time I've said it out loud.
So there are many variations. Sure. LGBT was sort of an umbrella term that I think, in fact, there's a history of the term section, which came of age in like the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then the most recent extended version of it that I've heard is LGBTQIA2+.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've heard that as well. I would not have remembered the additional ones that you said, but hearing them, I recognize that as well.
So, yeah, there are, or any number of variations thereof to include everybody, basically. So there's definitely a lot of, in fact, it's a topic of some consternation for some folks, both within and without of the community, in terms of who gets included and who doesn't, and what do we actually, have we expanded the umbrella so far that don't have a coherent message that we're trying to say, and yada yada. But so obviously, anything that I would say is the perspective of the cis male.
Right, exactly. I understand that idea only from I get very frustrated having worked in STEM or science education, which then became STEM education, which then is now become STEAM education, and then even more. Like they just keep adding letters to this thing. And so eventually you're not going to be describing a particular subject, you're just going to be describing school. Because you've got every subject thrown in there, and there's no need to have them all looped together. Even though I do cross-curricular lessons, I think are great. So don't get me wrong on that. Don't come after me, folks who think that they're a good thing. I think they're a good thing too. But I don't think you need to lump everything into one subject the same way here. We don't need to lump everybody into one particular group. We don't need to group anybody. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of labels. But hey, that's just me. And
I think it's just always a challenge to everybody's definition of the arbitrary line and where it goes is completely different. And it's always challenging. Now, on to the idea of phenolphthalein. I have to say, that
is it here? Is it on this page?
That's right. Well,
things turning pink. Is there some connection here?
It possibly here. I don't know that if you pour phenolphthalein on a person, you can tell whether they're gay or not.
And it's not even part of the actual flag either, because it's a rainbow flag. So never mind.
There you go. Right. But under alternative terms, there's queer and SGM, GSM, GSRM. None of which I'd heard of queer, obviously, but not SGM, GSM, or GSRM. Mm-mm. But there are references to the National Institutes of Health, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, as well as Duke University and other places that could get us more into a science-y area. So those, I think, are promising possibilities for us.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of things in here that I thought could get us. So the word stereotype is in here, which I think could potentially start to take us in that particular direction if we needed to. Health is linked on here, although that is particularly LGBT health, so probably not as much. Reproduction is on here if we would like to talk. Oh, but again, that's LGBT reproduction. Yeah. So there you go. So these are very specific. I like that idea of trying to get into that kind
science,
of more general science area. I agree with you. What about acronym? The word acronym is on here, and I feel like there's a lot of acronyms in science, as well as in many, many subjects. I wonder if there's something to go through there.
Where is acronym?
Acronym is under variants, and you go down to 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs down. It is in the second sentence. There is also the acronym QUILTBAG, queer and questioning, unsure, intersex, lesbian, transgender, and two-split, bisexual, asexual, and aromantic, and gay and gender queer.
Quilt bag?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to read it was capitalized, so I wanted to read it out as an acronym. So
I've never heard it, and it also sounds like something that if it came from my mouth would sound like a slur.
Yes. Also, the reason I didn't read it out loud. But I think that there's something there potentially. Justin Trudeau is also listed on here, and he's Liberal Party. I bet that he's
famed
done a little
chemist.
Science. No, I'm just saying. Like, I'll bet like he has probably talked about climate change, things like that.
I mean, I do like the idea of going through acronym. I feel like there are loads of scientific acronyms. The question is how many of them are going to be listed on the page, but I feel like there's enough of them that's a distinct possibility.
Well, let's do it then.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it.
What a harmonious episode this is. We're agreeing on things for once.
I know. It just means that there's a big blow up coming somewhere in here, but we'll see.
Indeed.
We'll see what it is. There are a ton of acronyms here, and an acronym, by the way, is a word or name consisting of parts of the full name's words. What a weirdly written sentence.
Indeed.
But I thought that an acronym. See, now I thought that acronyms were different than what's the other word? Oh, damn it! See, now I'm making no sense. Like when it makes a word, I thought it was one thing, but if it was something like FBI, which is also listed on here, that it was something like an initialism is what it's called on here. Acronyms formed from the string of initials that are usually pronounced as individual letters.
Yeah, and an abbreviation or an initialism if you're pronouncing the letters, but it like radar or laser or scuba, if you pronounce it as a word, then it's an acronym.
But it says here, acronyms can be pronounced as words like NASA or UNESCO, as individual letters like CIA, TNT, or as both letters and words like JPEG.
Well, maybe we're learning a little something here.
I thought that there was a difference between these things, but apparently I am incorrect. So go acronym.
There you go. Bravo.
So what do we got here? So we've got scuba is on here, as you just said.
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doctor is on here.
Yeah.
Doctor is on here. DOCTOR.
That's what it said. Doctor is an academic title that originates from the Latin word of the same spelling and meaning. So, I wonder how much that would talk about medical doctors. I mean, it would obviously talk about them, but not specifically.
It doesn't feel like an acronym, though.
No. It says, yes, it says an abbreviation may be a type of shortened form, such as words with the middle omitted. For example, RD for road or DR for doctor. So it's giving you an example kind of something that is not an acronym.
Okay.
So how's that feel? You like that?
Super, I do. So there is a section called comparing a few examples of each type.
Oh, okay.
Which includes pronounced as a word containing only initial letters, pronounced as a word containing a mixture of initial and non-initial letters. And under that section, there is a link to amphetamine, which gets us into chemistry.
Oh, interesting. Amphetamine is an alpha methyl phenylethylamine.
We're gonna have to get Emma back on.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I love that. That looks great. I'm trying to see if there's anything else even close to that on here because it's not a small page.
So there is a link to 3M, which is which stands for the Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company, but they do a lot of. They're the Post-it note people, and they do a lot of brilliant chemical work, presumably to make the products that they make.
I agree with that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean that's a good one too. I kind of like amphetamine a little bit better.
I do too. I just didn't want to jump into.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So wine is linked here, but not the beverage. Apparently a free and open source compatibility layer. So skip that one for the time being because it's a software thing.
Oh, we've got some swears on here too. Taboo words in particular commonly have false etymologies. Shit from ship, store, high in transit, or special high intensity training, and fuck from for unlawful carnal knowledge or fornication under consent command of the king.
Yeah.
So these things are under acronyms as legendary etymology. But they seem to be false. They are false. So anyone who's come up to you and said, you know where that word came from, turns out they didn't know where that word came from. They are wrong.
Well, let me zip back to junior high and correct some idiots.
Do it, man. I've definitely heard that and didn't know whether I didn't necessarily believe it, but I didn't necessarily. I wasn't ready to be like, nope, that's absolutely false. And now I am. Now I'm ready to say that because Wikipedia would not steer me wrong.
Never. It's 100% right about absolutely everything.
Every time. So is there a link on here to messenger RNA and transfer RNA, the mRNA and tRNA?
Yeah.
So that also gets you into, that's
biology more than chemistry.
It's biology mixed with chemistry. I mean, we're talking about acids here. We're talking about ribonucleic acid.
Fair.
It is an acid.
That's fair.
In fact, you might get a link straight to acid from that page because acid may very well be linked on there.
That is true. That is interesting. That is a provocative statement that you've just made.
Thank you. I love provocative statements and I say them all the time.
And you do. You're well known for them.
Always. That's all I'm doing is running around the town just shouting out provocative statements. Let's see. WWF is on here, but of course, as you know, WWF stands for
World Wrestling Federation.
No, the World Wildlife Fund. Yes, that's why it's the WWE. They got knocked off of that one.
Did they? I thought the WWE was just a separate thing.
No, they had to change their name from WWF because of the World Wildlife Federation.
Are you pulling my leg? Are you?
That is definitely the story that I have been told. Now, is that also apocryphal? Perhaps, but that's definitely there was a lawsuit, is my understanding, and the World Wildlife Federation was around first, and so they got to keep WWF, and WWE had to change it to WWE.
It would have been awesome if, like, Macho Man Randy Savage went up against a panda to determine who.
Let's see who wins.
And the panda just kicks his ass
with a giant bamboo just right across the head.
But that's where Macho Man Randy Savage got the idea to snap into a Slim Jim. So
that's right, absolutely
worked out in the end. And you're welcome, Mike Rhodes, who probably the only listener who gives a damn about that.
That's definitely true. I see the Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology on here. So that'll get you into science if you like that type of science. Pokemon is listed on here. Oh my God, Hitler's on here. Everyone's on here.
Everywhere. Is Hitler an acronym? Like, hey,
no,
I think let's eradicate ruse. No, it should have been Hitlage. Let's eradicate races. That's what it stands for.
That's what it was. Yeah. Emperor Nicholas II is listed on here. I mean, we've got so much on this page, man, and I'm still not at the bottom. Oh, portmanteau.
So we're recording this on June 8th, which is right in the middle of Pride Month, and also the day that it was announced that Pat Robertson, the televangelist, had passed away. Mm-hmm. And those two things combined with the topic of acronyms, I saw a number of posts on Twitter, and I'm generally not one who wants to encourage people celebrating the death of someone they don't like. No, but yes, I did laugh at the one that said Pride, and it spelled out as an acronym. Pat Robertson is dead, everybody.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I agree with you. I agree with all of your sentiments here.
Excellent.
Every one of them.
Matt, I want to throw it out there. I like amphetamines.
Okay, so you like that over the one that might actually have acid listed on the page?
Yes, because I feel like DNA and RNA are going to go more of a biological route, and amphetamines is strictly chemical. And I feel like we need to be in the chemical route, and that's. How do you feel? I feel strongly about that.
How do you feel about protein? Because that's linked on here too.
Oh, protein. I feel protein is all right.
Oh, what do you mean all right? I think we got to go to protein, man.
Why is protein demonstrably and obviously better than amphetamines?
Because they are chains of amino acids.
I think you're hung up on the acid thing.
Oh, I think not. I think once we get to acid and base, we're going to be finding this thing all over the place.
Yeah, I mean,
I think protein is
it's a tale as old time. Matt likes acids. I like amphetamines, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's tough to separate the two, honestly.
All right. Well, where is protein, first of all?
Protein is going to be all the way down under let's see, macronisms, nested acronyms. Oh, macronyms, not macronisms. Macronyms, nested acronyms. And it's going to be a couple paragraphs down, right above recursive acronyms. There is a thing that says, similarly, protein and gene nomenclature, which uses symbols extensively. So gene nomenclature is talked about in here, as are inhibitor proteins, Nach domain. But I think protein, I think that's the way to go, man. I really do.
I feel like it's more biological for me than amphetamines.
It is biological. I agree with you, but biology and chemistry are closely connected, right? Like you don't have biology without chemistry. You don't have chemistry without biology. So
no, you absolutely have chemistry without biology. You do.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, once I said it, I was kind of like, I'm going to take that one back. But you don't have biology without chemistry for sure. So anyway.
Yeah, but I guess that, and again, I'm not saying we couldn't get there, because we absolutely could. I guess my point is that why I'm sticking with my amphetamines is that it's like the difference of like an extra click or not an extra click.
Okay, well, tell me your ideal path. You get into amphetamine and you see a link to what? What is it that you're seeing that you think you're going to follow? Chemistry in general?
There's no. I mean, I think there's going to be a host of chemical or chemistry related terms that exist on the amphetamine page, whereas on the protein page, we're more likely to see a host of biological terms. So I think the number of favorable exits from an amphetamine page is likely to be higher than the number of favorable exits from a protein page. I'm not saying they won't be there. I just think the odds are better with amphetamines because it's more chemistry rather than biology. That's my thesis.
But do you know enough about chemistry to know which of those paths to follow? Like, we may very well have 15 chemistry paths in front of us. Are any of those going to be ones that you know we should follow?
No. I won't be able to, other than like acid and base or titration or pH.
Yeah.
I certainly don't have the chemical knowledge to be able to make that determination. I guess my point is, so if we just take those four terms, acid, base, pH, and titration.
Yes.
The odds that any number of those appear on the amphetamine page is higher than the odds that any of those four appear on the protein page.
I mean, we know that the word acid appears on the protein page.
We know that we know that amino acid is listed there because it pops up in the preview, but is acid going to be linked because it's a biological page rather than a chemical page?
I can't. There's no way for me to know for sure what the
you know what, Matt. Now that I've taken a stand and made a big stink about it, let's go to protein so that I can happily prove you wrong.
There we go. That sounds like a great idea. Protein it is.
All right. Proteins are large biomolecules and macromolecules that comprise one or more long chains of amino acid residues. And amino acid is linked.
Yes.
Although I'm not seeing acid as its own link, which is very, very sad.
Well, not in the first paragraph, I'm sure, but let's go a little bit further down and see if there's anything in there. I will say,
I'm calling it. We failed.
Nucleic acid is linked, as is residues, which if you mouse over, it says in chemistry, residue is whatever remains or acts as a contaminant after a given class of events. So I wonder if there's a way through that. And I'm just looking at the very first sentence. I haven't even gotten into everything else that's on this page, which I'm sure is going to lead to all kinds of things that we like. So let's take a look and see what we see here. Yeah, I've got amino acid linked on here. Amino acid is linked on here. Essential amino acid is linked on here. Did I mention that amino acid was linked on here as well? You know, I think you're going to find that amino acids are linked on this page extensively. So I've basically proven my point.
I like how you've decided that you've proven your point rather than
that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. Okay, well, I will point out bonded is linked on here, which takes you to chemical bond. All right. So chemical bond is absolutely a way out of here. Again, a chemistry term that we are aware of and that we know. So could follow that out of here.
What happened to your certainty that acid was going to be linked here?
Well, I'm still going down the page. It's still a very long page. I'm not very far down it yet.
You know what else is a chemistry term? Amphetamine.
Yeah. No, not as much.
Yeah,
not as much.
100%.
More of a drug term than anything else.
Listen, amphetamines have served us all very well. Huh? Thank you.
Have they? Have they served us all very well, or have they served you very well?
I like drugs. All right, and also the World War II bombers who were taking off from the U.S. and dropping bombs over Germany hopped up on amphetamines the whole time.
Is that right? Is that how they did that? How they got through that?
Oh yeah. I mean, the Air Force called them go pills. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The armed forces have not been shy about drugging up soldiers when it served their purposes. So
I did not know that one. But that's wow. Okay. So I'm learning all kinds of new things here. I saw a link on here to hydrogen bonds, which I think could be a really good link out of here because If I'm not mistaken, hydrogen or groups that contain hydrogen are highly related to our acids and our bases, right? OH for the bases and just the H for the acids. Am I right about that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I think that if for some reason Wikipedia lets me down and acid is not linked on this page, then I think that there's a path through there. But you're right; it's going to wind up being an extra click than if acid was on this page. So I'm still looking. I'm still checking it out. Nickel's on here. You said that they used this stuff to process nickel, didn't you?
No, I suggested that as a possibility.
And I mean, it must be right.
No. I sure? tried to prompt something to see if no, that is absolutely
not correct. We did find out though that through that it was involved in Hollywood Barbie, which now I'm starting to think might have been the better path. But you know,
the path that you're just making up in your mind.
The Hollywood Barbie path. Yeah, I think we could have gotten there. I think we could have gotten there. So I am much further down the page than I once was. Still seeing amino acids linked. Still not seeing acid linked.
No acids, huh?
I got to tell you. Oh wait, here it is.
What?
I found it.
Where?
I found it.
Who?
It's here.
When?
In animals, amino acids are obtained through the consumption of foods containing protein. Ingested proteins are then broken down into amino acids through digestion, which typically involves denaturation of the protein through exposure to acid and hydrolysis.
Where is this?
This is in right above the see also in nutrition. In the second paragraph, we have a link to acid, just like I told you there would be.
Right. Okay. Under nutrition, you say?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So I think acid is the way to go, unless, oh no, we can't do that. No, that'd be cheating. Never mind. Acid's the way to go.
Oh, what? Did you see something better in the external links section?
No, there are portals linked down here, and one of them is a chemistry portal. But I think portals are probably off limits. I don't know. Maybe not.
You keep making up rules.
I just said I don't know. Would you calm down?
You keep... No, I get...
All right, I'm going to take a stand. They're off limits. They're off limits. Fine. I'll take a stand. I'll make a decision.
Oh, no, that's fine. Emma, Christy, and I will start our own podcast where we
Control F and do whatever you want. I think acid's the way to go. I don't think there's any other.
I agree. Acid it is.
Acid. I knew you loved it.
I do.
Let's do it. Here we are. We're in acid. And an acid is a molecule or ion capable of either donating a proton. Oh my God, I've had too much of this to drink. Hydrogen ion, H+, known as a Bronsted-Lowry acid, or forming a covalent bond with an electron pair known as a Lewis acid. So there you go. Mm-hmm. Now you know about all the acids. And I'm guessing we're going to have something on this page about, what was it that she called it? An identifier or a...
she called it an acid-base indicator.
Indicator. Okay, so I'm betting that there's something about indicators.
There is a link to the acid-base reaction.
Reaction? I don't know. That's what we want.
So what? There's a whole article on acid-base reaction.
Well, that's great, but I think we want something that talks about indicators, something that tells you about if something is an acid or a base, right? That's got to be on this page.
All right.
No, perhaps. You don't think so?
Perhaps. I don't know.
I would think that there would be, but now that I'm paging through, I'm not seeing anything yet. There's a lot of acids named on here, a lot of name dropping of acids going on. Citric, I think we all know, and a lot of people. I was hanging out with sulfuric the other day.
Yeah, a friend of mine, their cousin went to school with hydrochloric.
Right. Yeah, everybody's always all hydrochloric. Like, okay, now here it is. Neutralization, the basis of titration.
Mm-hmm.
Where a pH indicator shows equivalent point. That is linked. pH indicator
where are
linked.
You?
This is under neutralization. I don't know. The main thing is chemical characteristics. You got to go like 3 or 4 down to neutralization.
Okay.
And you will see pH indicator is one of the links. And my friend, pH indicator is absolutely our path. Unless that actual thing is on this page, which I guess we should check.
I guess we should just do some quick
just make sure cola drink is on here. I see. Not seeing it yet, but I think pH indicator is going to be our path for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't give up on this page so quickly.
Like I'm not
it's giving up yet. It's a long page.
It is a long page. Have you jumped to the bottom to the see also already? To see?
I haven't. I feel like I should have. But
there isn't a see also. I'm now at the references, so there is no see also.
All right then.
Common acids. So yeah, so there you go. I don't see it on this page. If it is here, I have missed it, but I have not missed pH indicator, and I think that's our path.
All right, pH indicator.
That's it.
I agree. Let's do it.
Do it, man. Now remember, it's lowercase p, uppercase H.
A pH indicator is a halochromic chemical compound added in small amounts to solution so that the pH, acidity, or basicity of a solution can be determined visually or spectroscopically by changes in absorption and or emission properties.
Bloop,
bloop, bloop, bloop, bloop.
And there it is.
Where?
There's a table under application, and it has all the different indicators listed, and one of them is phenolphthalein.
There it is.
First transition. So you go ahead. Yeah.
8.3 and 10. Excellent. Yes.
Yeah.
As Emma said, between 8 and 10, I believe.
That's it.
Phenolphthalein, the second transition between 12 and 13. What I don't see here is the transition between -1 and 0.
Well, I'm sure if we click on the link, which I think we should do since that's where we need to go,
it
probably talks about it on that page. Now, we don't want to look too much at that page because I know you like to cheat and find links just in case we had the same guess and things like that. But don't do that. Don't do that.
Wow. Wow. Well, we did it, Matt. We got here.
Yeah, I'm trying to type out the actual name here. I'm not going to spell it out loud because I don't want folks to be able to figure out her password on her phone. But
PHENOLP.
No, don't. What are you doing? You're giving them the hotspot password. Stop it! Stop it, Jethro.
If you're in Golden, Colorado and want free Wi-Fi
and happen to be within 60 yards of Emma Nolen,
there you go. You got it.
You're going to be in luck. Well, Jethro, we have made it all the way from Princess Peach to phenolphthalein, and it's time for the reckoning. It's time to see how we did on this guy here. So I believe last week I was the first to reveal. You want to tell us how many links you predicted?
I predicted 7 links.
7 links. It took us 6, a terribly close guess. 1 mirrored by me.
Wow.
I also predicted 7. Jethro, you know what that means, buddy.
Oh, no.
We've got a race in front of us. From back to Princess Peach.
Okay, let's get this over with.
Oh, this is bad news. This is bad news. The path we took may be the only path there is. But I guess...
I doubt that very seriously.
No, I doubt it as well. But we're going to have to figure out what is the better path, or the just as good path, I suppose. Here's what I'm going to say, Jethro, though. Now, I want to run this past you and see how you feel about this. In the past, we have said that if you have gone to a page in the previous path, other than the final page, you can't use it again. We have sometimes said that. And on other times, we've said that if you reached a page that, as long as you don't take the same path, it was okay. Which way do you want to go this time? Like, if you get to acid again, are you okay going through acid and then pH indicator and then there? Or do you say we cannot touch any of those things? Because I don't know that we're going to get there if we can't use pH indicator or acid or something like that.
Yeah, I'm fine as long as we don't take the same page out. If we end up taking the same page in.
Okay.
So I am on the Princess Peach page, and I have my my link.
Oh my gosh, you've already picked your link.
I have.
Shoot in a boot. Okay. So I've got 30 seconds to say, or what is
4,
it?
3,
Jesus.
2, 1.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well, all right. I'm going to, I got mine. What's yours?
Guinness World Records Gamers Edition.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a good one. I should have just gone straight to that. Why did I not? All right. I picked Donor. Donor is my pick.
All right. There we go.
Yep. All right. So I've got mine.
Do you now?
Yep.
Well, congratulations for you. That's excellent.
So that means you have very little time left in your decision.
Very little time indeed. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like
5, 4,
what is
3,
time?
2, 1. All right, what do you got, buddy? You
All
gotta
right,
pick
what do I
something.
have?
Yep.
Are you
Oh, I'm
asking
sorry.
me?
I have donor. I'm going to the other uses of donor. What are you doing?
The other uses of donor. What was the page you landed on?
Donor fairy tale.
What?
Stop wasting time. Tell us what your thing is.
I'm not wasting time. I'm not. I am going to tobacco.
Okay, there we go. All right. I've got mine.
Do you now?
Yes. I'm going to blood donor.
You're going to blood donor, are you?
Yep.
Okay. All right, then I am going to nicotine.
All right, let's go. Boy, oh boy. What are we going to find now? Boy. All right. This is where you're going to find one faster than me this time. For sure. I got a lot of cool stuff here on my blood types and all sorts of bloody things going on. Ooh, viral hepatitis. Jethro, I have viral hepatitis.
Do you now?
I mean, on the page here. I didn't mean that I don't have it, but it's
sure.
listed here on the page.
It's fine if you do, man. It's fine if you do.
Yeah. All right, I've got mine.
Oh, really? What do you have there?
I'm going to HIV nucleic acid.
HIV nucleic acid, you say?
Yes, that's what I'm going to.
Okay, then. I am going to alcohol.
All right, let's do it. So I am into the nucleic acid test is what it took me to. So that's what I'm in. And it has very few links to get out of here. Yes, very few. Very few indeed. Okay, I've got mine though. I'm going to nucleic acid.
Okay, then I am going to pick a link here, and I'm going to go to that link. And you, my friend,
5,
are going
4, 3, 2, 1. What do you got?
What do I have?
Yes.
Well, I have a lot of things that I
pick
could
something.
Do. All right, I am going to.
Come on, this is my only chance.
I'm going to formic acid.
All right. There we go. I'm in nucleic acid here, dancing around inside. I've got my bases, my viruses, my peptide nucleic acids, my enzymes. Look out for enzymes. Uracil, thymine, cytosine. Watson Crick is on here, of course, as you can't be too surprised about.
Mm-hmm.
Genetic code. Perhaps you've heard of it. Have you? Perhaps? No? Yes?
I have heard of genetic code.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Oh my God. Why is the word acid not linked out of here?
I've got mine.
You've got yours. Oh, shit.
I should say.
Okay. That means I have to get to something quick here. Oh, shit. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. I'll go to enzymes.
I'm going to base.
No, that's a good one. One. Yeah. Oh, shit. You're going to get there first, aren't you? Oh, okay. I've got mine. Okay.
pH.
I'm going to pH. We can't both go there, so we have to pick something different.
We both have to pick something different?
Yes.
I know, right? That.
I know. Oh my God, I found pH and I was so excited.
So did I. I got one.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, go ahead and tell us what yours is so I don't pick the same one again, I guess.
Mine is indicators, which takes us to pH indicator.
Oh, shit.
God
damn it. Tell me pH indicators on here. It's got to be.
You said you wouldn't pick it.
Well, I can't. I mean, if it's on here, obviously that's the one I would go to. It's the only way to stop you.
I can't be stopped, Matt.
No, it's the only way to stop you.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Stop yelling
1.
at me. I need to find it. Were you talking about something earlier that you had something more to say about that you wanted to say?
Indicators. If you don't say your destination, it is a forfeit.
What?
I've already counted down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's -1, -2, -3.
Well, you can't have
4,
a pH that's -1, or can you? Did you want to talk more about that?
That's when the phenolphthalein turns orange, my friend.
Oh, shit balls. Well, if that's what you're going to, can I go to pH?
Sure, you can go to pH.
It's not going to matter. All right, fine. I'll go to pH.
All right, I've got mine. 5, 4,
Wait, what?
3, 2.
That's not fair. You've already been on that page.
Phenolphthalein. There we go. I'm at phenolphthalein. Yay! I win. Hooray!
But I might have that on here too.
Then we tie twice. So we better do another one.
I mean, if we happen to tie twice,
are we gonna redo
just call
this
it a tie
until we end up going through Barbie?
I think if we tied again, we would just have to call it a tie.
So I'm already at phenolphthalein. You're on the pH page.
Well, but you had to go through pH indicators to get to phenolphthalein,
which we discussed and determined was okay.
No. But my point is, if phenolphthalein happened to be on the pH page, then I could still be there in the same number of links.
We could absolutely tie.
And you would allow that, right? You're going to give me these extra couple seconds since you were already so familiar with that page, right? Since we'd already been there, right?
All right. So Matt, I don't want to break this to you, but I have invited Christy and Emma into the room.
Hell no.
on the pH page, and I have Controlled F the pH page.
Yeah.
And phenolphthalein is not on this page.
Oh, but pH indicator is.
It is, which you're welcome to click.
All right. Well, that's it for the season then, everybody. Congratulations, Jethro. You once again have won.
Hooray.
Well done. There's no more excitement left in the season, folks.
There's no more joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.
Yep. That is the way it is. All right. Well, congratulations on your victory. I begrudgingly congratulate you, I guess. I don't know. I'm not in any mood to be happy at this point, because I feel like
I encourage you not to be so acidic in your response.
I'm not. I'm being very basic about it.
You're being super basic.
Mm-hmm.
You're both somehow.
But it just goes to show you that there's no skill involved. It's all luck. Because if there was any skill involved, I would be able to practice and get better at this. And clearly that's not happening. So it must be luck, right? Is that how I sleep at night?
I feel like if it were luck, then you would have won half of them.
God